When speaking of popular Japanese music units, YOASOBI, Yorushika, and Tsutomayo are names that often come to mind. But for a period of time, TUYU was not far behind them. In fact, many thought TUYU would be next in line to reach a similar level of popularity as the Trinity. In this video, I'm going to introduce you to the story of TUYU, and how the once promising music unit came to a tragic end. TUYU was founded by Pusu, a vocaloid producer, guitarist, former singer, and the creative mastermind behind all their songs and activity. He discovered the vocal, Rei, and the illustrator, Omotatsu, through Twitter, and has already worked with the animator, Ajun, on previous projects. TUYU's music might sound cheerful at first, with its up-tempo catchy melodies, paired with Rei's clear and beautiful high notes. But what makes their music stand out is actually Pusu's ability to combine it with raw and relatable lyrics that depict people's inner struggles on all facets of their lives. Pusu named the unit TUYU because they were formed in June, which is the rainy season in Japan, also known as TUYU. He also said that since rain is often connected to tears and sadness, it sets the tone for the concept perfectly. On June 12, 2019, TUYU uploaded a music video titled It's Raining After All onto YouTube, marking the official start of their activity. The song instantly attracted many attention, reaching 500,000 views within a month. TUYU proceeded to drop 2 more songs in the following months, with both of them enjoying similar success. Then, on October 16, they released what will eventually become their most popular song ever, Compared Child. Compared Child taps into one of the most primal causes of our negative thoughts: comparison. It could be made by your parents, your colleagues, your friends, and even yourself. It's only human nature to compare. But with social media, people are being exposed to information more than ever. And worse, information that has been selectively presented to them, a glamorous facade. You can compare your grade, your work, your number of friends, your followers, or even your physical appearances, which will often result in an unhealthy inferiority complex that breeds anxiety and depression. TUYU perfectly articulated all those emotions into an incredibly catchy song without any sugarcoating. They even touched on sensitive subjects about self-harm. The last part of the song, where Rei sang 2 straight choruses, gives the listeners an overwhelming wave of emotion that represents what the protagonist is feeling and what anxiety often feels like. The song then ends on a positive note with a message of self-embrace. Despite the unpleasant topic, Pusu revealed that Compared Child is one of the easiest songs he has ever written, due to how much the song is based on his own experience. And not just Compared Child. The reason why many, if not most of TUYU's songs have a darker theme, is because Pusu has a long history of mental illness and struggled as a misfit until he quit high school. Compared Child quickly became the song that defines TUYU's brand of music, and has currently racked up over 50 million views on YouTube. Interestingly, exactly a month later, on November 16, another music unit called YOASOBI released their debut single, Racing Into the Night. But that's a topic for another day. Thanks to the success of Compared Child, TUYU got a massive boost in their online popularity, both domestically and internationally, with all their songs reaching 1 million views. And since Pusu has already scheduled to release at least 1 single every month, even before their debut, TUYU never lost any steam leading up to the announcement of their first album and solo concert. On February 19, 2020, TUYU released their first full album, It's Raining After All. While the quality of TUYU's discography is incredibly high thanks to the producer being a perfectionist control freak, another perk of having a main songwriter behind an entire album is a better cohesion from top to bottom. For example, the last 2 songs of the album, Goodbye to Rock You, and even Tears Wither, are actually coupling songs. Goodbye to Rock You tells a story where the protagonist was once obsessed with a honor student who does everything perfectly, but later, she learned to accept herself and lives the way she wants. Even Tears Withered switched up the perspective and tells the story from the honor student's standpoint. Turns out, she is jealous of the protagonist because she's been living her entire life based on people's expectations, and all her dreams and values are lost during the process. The song even mentioned Compared Child, saying there's no point comparing when the inferior student is even more successful. It's really astonishing how TUYU's music can connect with people from all walks of life. As long as you're a human, you can't avoid an inferiority complex at a certain point of life. The album reached number 8 on the Oricon Daily Album Chart, which is quite impressive considering it was only available at Tower Records and Animate, not to mention that everything was self-produced, since TUYU hasn't signed with any labels yet. Soon after its Raining After All's release, Pusu received a DM from Nabuna, the producer of Yorushika, congratulating him on the album's success. This was a validating moment for Pusu, because both he and Nabuna started their vocaloid producer journey back in 2012. While both of them became recognized names in the industry, Nabuna went on to form Yorushika in 2017, and quickly achieved mainstream success. Witnessing all these filled Pusu with a lot of bitterness, because Nabuna has always been a huge inspiration to Pusu as a vocaloid producer. But suddenly, Nabuna became the producer of one of the most popular artists in J-pop, which made him feel lost in comparison. But all this regret and negativity also motivated him to take the next step of his career, which materialized in the form of TUYU. So, getting that message from Nabuna is truly a full circle moment for Pusu. Just a week after the album came out, TUYU wasted no time to kickstart their next chapter by releasing Perhaps I'll Be Able to Become the Sun, and introducing a new member to the unit, the pianist, Miro, just in time for their first solo concert. The concert, despite having a smaller venue, was a sold-out success and prompted TUYU to announce their second solo concert instantly, which was unfortunately delayed due to COVID. Fast forward to August, TUYU released a new single, Being Low as Dirt, Taking What's Important From Me. Just as Pusu managed to fill the song title with a sentence, he also managed to tell a captivating story within 3 minutes and 14 seconds. The characters and their personalities are so vivid that the song immediately became one of TUYU's most popular songs, and was later adapted into novels and comics. Over the next year, TUYU continued releasing new singles, attending music events, and hosted their second solo concert. Then on July 14, 2021, they dropped their second full album, I'll Put You in Misery, reaching number 7 on the Oricon Daily Chart. You might be wondering why the ranking didn't improve a lot, considering how much their popularity has grown since the first album. Well, even though TUYU has over 700,000 subscribers at that point, the ratio of international and domestic subscribers has always been almost even throughout their channel's history. This is a result of them focusing their activities mainly on YouTube, and the lack of mainstream exposure that comes with label deals. As a countermeasure, TUYU decided to livestream their third solo concert globally for their diverse audiences. Moving on to 2022, the group underwent some changes, starting with the departure of the illustrator, Omutatsu, and animator, Ajun, to focus more on their individual works, although Ajun still remained in charge of TUYU's music videos. It was also later revealed that TUYU has signed a 2-year deal with a major label, Pony Canyon, during the spring of 2022, signifying their determination to establish themselves in the mainstream J-pop scene. After taking a break through the first half of the year, TUYU returned to their busy schedule, releasing Would Be Nice If You Grow Up One Day, and Under Kids. With the aid of Pony Canyon, both music videos were raking up views at a faster pace than before, and Would Be Nice If You Grow Up One Day even appeared on the big screen in Shibuya. TUYU seemed to have hit a stride towards the end of 2022 as they finally reached 1 million subscribers on YouTube, held their first tour in October, got invited to perform at Countdown Japan alongside dozens of popular artists, and was selected to provide the theme song for the anime, Tokyo Revengers. Regarding this amazing opportunity, Pusu admitted that it is the main reason why he decided to sign with a major label. However, he also confessed that once the deal with Pony Canyon is over, he'll refrain from tie-ins, as they affect his creative freedom. And it is well established that Pusu has a near obsession with his control over the songwriting process. Fast forward to June 21, 2023, TUYU released their third full album, Under Mentality, this time improving to number 5 on the Oricon Daily Chart. 2023 was meant to be another year where they make major progress in solidifying themselves as a major artist, having released their first album under a major label, held several concerts, and performed at some of the biggest music festivals in Japan. However, on November 12th, Pusu posted on Twitter saying that TUYU had terminated their contract with Pony Canyon and will disband after their newly announced tour concludes in early 2024. Understandably, the news was a major shock for their fanbase, as TUYU was without a doubt on track to become something special, especially with their sizable international fanbase that most Japanese artists crave for. Puss's decision, which was made without consulting with Lei and Mito, also caused havoc within the unit, as TUYU was no longer just a 3-person music unit, but a small company with employees, so people's livelihoods are also on the line. However, despite how reckless and irresponsible his actions are, Puss is ultimately the leader and engine that keeps the whole machine running. Every single lyric and note are his creation. Therefore, if he believes that TUYU's time is up, there's not much that others could do with it. After accepting the reality, all eyes are now set on their final tour, A Last Dance. But as if one bad news wasn't enough, due to all these sudden changes and inner turmoil, Lei was diagnosed with a stress-induced laryngitis, which caused her to cough up blood.
使われるのはお客様ですかって聞かれたんやけどさ、私に決まってるくね。
Although Lei was able to recover back to singing shape prior to the tour, multiple shows were forced to be cancelled in order to give her sufficient rest. With every show performed, the music unit was inevitably inching closer and closer towards the end, and eventually on February 4th, 2024, TUYU and their fans arrived at the final stop of their journey. The concert was a success from top to bottom. Every member poured their heart and soul out, knowing the significance of this event, and knowing what it will mean for them and their fans for ages to come. As the show comes to an end, Pusu returned on stage alone for the encore, and performed Gekokujo, the song that marked the end of his career as a singer, and the start of a new chapter as TUYU's producer and guitarist. Afterwards, he talked about the thought process behind his decision of ending TUYU. Pusu confessed that he had a creative slump in 2023, where he couldn't find any motivation and inspiration to make music. Signing a deal with Pony Canyon has cost him his edge, after realizing that money is pouring in regardless of whether he works hard or not. But what makes TUYU's music so relatable is Pusu's ability to write vulnerable yet powerful lyrics. So the realization compelled him to terminate TUYU's contract with Pony Canyon. But that still wasn't enough for him. He wanted to create an environment filled with chaos, destruction, and isolation to stimulate his creativity. That's why he resolved to such extreme measures. At that point, the fans are starting to read between the lines with a cautious optimism. And that's when Pusu dropped the biggest bomb of the night. I want to continue TUYU's activity, release more new songs, and have fans coming to our concerts. That's why I pulled this off. It's reckless, got Lei sick, had a lot of people thinking I'm crazy. But that's just who I am, always have been and always will be. Still, we have come too far for me to just abandon TUYU. That's why TUYU will not disband today. After putting an end to such a crazy stunt, TUYU went back to their usual business, as if nothing had happened, and released It's Raining Nevertheless on April 13. There's something weirdly poetic about this song, as it's clearly a callback to their debut single, It's Raining After All, and it also happens to be TUYU's last ever song. The disbandment saga may have ended with Puss explaining and justifying his impulsive actions, but the deterioration of his mental stability was never truly addressed, and with every passing day, the situation was only getting worse and worse. On May 6, TUYU announced that the pianist Mito, who has been with the unit for over 4 years, will be departing on June 16. The main reason is for him to overtake the duty of arranging TUYU's music, since Puss's micromanagement over every step of production is starting to affect the music's variety. To commemorate Mito's tenure as their pianist, TUYU will be dropping a piano album that includes the piano version of most of their songs on June 12. But that day never came. On May 30th, 2024, Pusu was taken into custody for suspicion of attempted murder of his girlfriend. After the news broke, fans were devastated that the man behind their favorite music unit and songs has become an alleged criminal. The other members, Lei and Mito, who were equally, if not more shocked to find out their friend and colleague did something so horrible, instantly took to Twitter to apologize on behalf of TUYU, and gave the victim their prayers. Subsequently, all future concerts and Mito's piano album have been cancelled. Following an internal meeting between the remaining members and staff, Lei, Mito, Ajin, and the manager ultimately came to the inevitable conclusion that their time with TUYU has come to an end. Fast forward to October 2nd, Pusu made his first appearance on Twitter since the incident, saying that he was actually released from custody in August, after his girlfriend refused to press charges, and went through 2 months of psychological evaluation in an asylum that proved his actions were caused by severe mental illness. With Pusu now being the sole member left in TUYU, what's left to discuss is the future of their existing discography. To protect their image, Pony Canyon has already removed all of TUYU's songs that they own the rights to from streaming platforms, including TUYU's third album. After a lengthy consideration, Pusu posted on Twitter claiming that the art is innocent, and songs that are made from his past struggles shouldn't lose their value due to recent controversies. To conclude, he will not be removing TUYU's music from the public. However, this decision instantly received backlash from those who refuse to forgive his actions, which is understandable. Although there seems to be a decent amount of unforgivers lurking around who have never been TUYU's fans or familiar with their music, which means they don't have any emotional attachment to those songs. As a result, Pusu reversed his decision the very next day and announced that all TUYU's songs will be removed by New Year's, which devastated the fans who were relieved by his art is innocent post just a day ago. From being stubbornly meticulous with his music, to easily swayed by online backlashes on such an important topic, it really shows how fragile Pusu's current mental state is. Time passed, and the last day of the year ultimately arrived. Countless pleadings and campaigns from fans were made leading up to this day, hoping that Pusu would change his mind. But the clock continued ticking mercilessly, until finally, with only a few hours left of 2024, Pusu posted a poll on Twitter and left a simple message. Some people call for the songs to be deleted. Some made campaigns against it. Let's make it clear once and for all. Agree for removal, against for preservation. The result? A total of 280,000 people voted, and 87.2% of them voted against. As the sun shines on the new year, Pusu announced that TUYU's music will live on, and he is officially stepping away from TUYU, marking the end of this music unit's journey of pain, tragedy, and a bit of rain. This has been Cushion. See you next time.